All right. Boy, I still don't see anybody coming on. If there's anybody online here, please type in a message or something so that I know you're there. Oh, okay. I see Leslie is there, so thank you. Now I know that it's working. Well, anyway, apologize. And Carol, hey, Carol. I apologize for the little temporary problem there. So thank you, but again, I'll start all over. This is Glenn from Thrive After 50. Thank you for taking time out of your busy night to be with me on this Monday night talk here. My topic tonight is Beyond Retirement, talking about what our purpose might be. For me, I believe that it is a human's natural state to thrive. Unfortunately, I believe that much of that desire and innateness about thriving has been beaten down on us from early ages on. But we are also entering retirement here now, and it's kind of a whole new stage of life for ourselves where we can kind of reinvent ourselves, and we have a whole lot more wisdom than what we had before, where we can kind of with a bit more understanding put things off to the side here that we've learned and kind of take a new look at moving forwards here. So anyway, I put this little statement down here as to, I believe the ultimate purpose of being human is to understand our own uniqueness and to experiment with this and to evolve it. That is thriving. And then we must explore where that takes us and how it fits into the grand scheme of things. And once we do that, we need to gradually start down that road with persistence and proactive diligence to experience and step, like I like to say, step into the shoes of that consciousness and use these discoveries about ourselves to live a meaningful life. I personally did that a number of years ago, and I'll tell a little bit about that story here, which some of you may have heard in the past. But I was in the restaurant business for 31 plus years and made a darn good living out of it, and had a nice house overlooking Lake Michigan up near the Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes, and life was good. Life is good, but I wasn't happy. I really wasn't happy, and particularly once the kids graduated from college and they moved out of the house and went on their own, I just knew I had to do something different in my life. To me, life wasn't about just possessions and building up your nest egg and hitting retirement and then kind of putting the skids on as to growth and what you do there. And it was in my soul that I had to do something about it. So I kind of went over the edge there a little bit and kind of reinvented myself. But I had to destroy a lot of things, take myself down to the foundation to rebuild that. And I ended up getting out of my businesses, almost giving them away to get it, because the restaurant business was just never from my heart. I ended up going through a divorce after 34 years of marriage. And there were a number of other little factors. I went from, seemed to having it all to having nothing. And it was really, really a scary time here. But, years have passed. Things have changed. And I feel very blessed that I took that risk and did this. But again, that was to try to find what made me thrive, what my purpose is, what my mission is. And my doing this is part of that, I believe. My mission is to help other people in that 50 plus age group thrive, and thus thrive after 50. Research increasingly suggests that purpose is important for a meaningful life, but also for a healthy life. Healthy in regards that I think if you have purpose, you know you have something to work toward and you want to take care of yourself here. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into it. But there's only 25% of Americans that even believe that purpose is really, really important to their lives. And to me, that's really, really sad. It's alarming, as a matter of fact. 40% are neutral and don't even have an opinion about it there. But the fact is that 47% of people today say that they are somewhat unhappy or definitely unhappy in retirement. And that says a lot. That says a lot that things have to change. Well, anyway, research has shown that there's basically two areas of well-being that people are concerned about. One is called hedonic, and the other one's eudaimonic. Eudaimonic, that's it. I've got a little thing here I'm going to show you here, but what those are basically, and I'll show you. Hedonic is focused around pleasure attainment, pain avoidance, versus eudaimonic, which is having purpose, self-care, and helping others there. And you know, the pleasure attainment, I think, is what most of us have been told is what is important in life. Material goods, to have more, to, you know, I know taking care of your family, I think that's eudaimonic there. I mean, that's just something that we all want to do, especially as fathers and mothers and what have you, to bring our kids up the best way we can. But now that we've reached this age, you know, beyond our kids out of the house, at least for most of us anyway. I know some of us are in the position of having to take care of our parents as well at this, but that's a whole different subject here. But the hedonic thing, when you reach retirement, again, for a lot of people, reaching retirement age is almost like having a badge of honor. Okay, it's like, all right, I've reached retirement. It's my turn. It's don't tell me what to do. You know, I'm going to just do life the way it is. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know what they want to do with their lives. Retirement used to be, I mean, you used to only live 6 years once you retired back in the, you know, earlier 1900s there. Now you're living 20, 30 years. It's enough to have another career if you decided to. But, you know, I believe that one of the worst things you can do for your health, for your well-being, for your mind, everything, is to sit back and not challenge yourself. Okay, you got to challenge yourself with your health. You got to challenge yourself with your mind. You got to challenge yourself with your learning. That's what's going to keep you going there. And having purpose, something that you're aiming for that's bigger than you, I think is really, really important. Finding purpose is not easy. Okay, and I think that's what really scares the hell out of a lot of people, is that it really involves changing your life big time. I know I went to extremes there myself, but it pushes your comfort zone. It challenges you. It's kind of letting go of all your beliefs, your stern beliefs and judgments, and being open to new things. It's risking to try being someone more than what you are. And it's kind of like leaving the old self behind to a large extent. And that's really, really scary for a lot of people. I think you got to also believe that there's more, that even give you the encouragement and the drive to try to discover what that is. But it's really difficult to do. And I think another important aspect of it all too is that you really got to get clear on what your morals, your values, and your integrity is. You know, what is it that you really believe in? What is really true for you? Not what was for your parents or for your spouse or for your boss or anything like that, but for you as a human being, what is important? Where is it that you want to go? Where do you want to strive to be? And integrity, are you a person that can be trusted? Do you trust yourself? You know, that's a good question right there. Can you be trusted? Those are really, really important things to get clear on as you start down your road, because they're going to arise. They're going to be coming up, and you have to make some tough decisions here, you know. And are you in this for the long run? You know, are you in this in the long run? Are you determined to never give up on pursuing finding out what your purpose is, what your passion is, what you love to do. And again, I encourage you to have something bigger than yourself that will, perhaps take the rest of your life to work on. I mean, that's not to say you don't do anything else and you still go out and do all the things you wanted to do that you put off till you hit retirement, but have something that's bigger than you that you're working towards. And there can be stepping stones to that. Your health, have a near-term, long-term goal with your health there, with the number of books that you're going to read during a year, with what, to set out to learn something that you think aligns with your purpose, that is important to that. So set out to learn what you need to learn. Do a lot of writing, journaling if you need to. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that we need to step with persistence into those shoes of who we want to be. And it's a slow process. It's not going to happen overnight. We have 50, 60, 70 years worth of habit behind us. And that didn't happen overnight. And we're not going to change ourselves overnight either. But one of the biggest things for me that was a driver for me to kind of redo my life was regret. Okay, I didn't want to feel like down the road that my life could have been so much more, and I could have done so much more for others if I had only tried and been willing to do that. The stories about being on the deathbed and, experiencing regret, something like that, at least right now, I mean, I may fail. I'm going to fail along the way. That's part of challenging yourself and dealing with that failure and moving on anyway, trying it again. Don't let yourself get down, but just continuing in the process and, at least win, fail, lose, whatever, or succeed, I'm going to be content in knowing that I gave it my best anyway. And I ask that you do the same thing for yourself here. There's 5 strategies I'd like to talk about that I think will help you hone your purpose to zero in on what that is. 5 things that are really, really important for you to do. And one of them is to stay active. Stay active in your life. Play a lot. Get out and do things. Exercising. Like I said, reading, socializing. Be socially engaged is the second one there. Get out and get involved with others there. Let's see, the play thing here. Where did I have the play? There was more on play I wanted to talk about. Yeah, and staying active, taking care of yourself is so important. Right now, I am working in a hospital wellness center there as a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor. And I'll tell you, the people that I see coming through there, I mean, I applaud them for even showing up. But some of them have let themselves go so badly over the years that it's sad. It's sad to see them trying to pull themselves back up, and they're shuffling along. Some of them, I feel like they just came off the oxygen tank, left it in the car to come in there. But I got to give them credit for at least being in there. But I guess what I'm trying to encourage you to do is don't let your health go. Okay, whether you're 50, 60, 70, 40, 30, anything, 20, keep your health up, keep active, move. It is so important to your happiness down the road there. And without your health, you haven't got anything. I just believe that to be so true. You can have all the money in the world and all the possessions you want, but without your health, you're not going to be happy. So by all means, take time out, focus on that any way you can, okay, and build on that. You're retired now. Make it a habit. That's your new part-time job. Make it a full-time job if you want, whatever. But, every day try to do something that challenges you along those areas there. And as number 2, like I mentioned, was being socially engaged. I think that is so important. That's another thing I've discovered around here is loneliness is rampant. Okay, loneliness is rampant with people. There's a lot of divorced people around here. There's a lot of widowed people. that I've come across. And it saddens me to see that a lot of them don't reach out for help. They don't ask for help. They isolate themselves inside the house there. And oh man, just the depression that I have seen in some of these people, and the challenging. I think the loneliness is probably one of the biggest challenges people have as they get older. You know, some of them say, hey, you know, my husband died. I can never replace him. I don't want to replace him. You know, I feel for you. I understand that, but I encourage you to go out there and find love again. You know, it is so nice to come home, have a partner that you can share with, share your day with, talk to, hear another voice, go out to the movies with, do something with, out to dinner, whatever. Don't let that pass you by. Don't just settle for, you know, the one love of your life that you've ever had, and or start thinking you're too old, that no one ever want me. That's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. Don't believe that. So I can't encourage you enough to get out there and find that relationship. You know, reach out, get on online if you need to. I think that's one of the best ways, actually, unless you can find social gatherings where something's going on that you enjoy. I mean, it might be going on boating trips. It might be going into a reading group or something, or writing group, or some artistic endeavor that you have. But go to these events and get involved and meet people, you know, but try not to be socially isolated, because that can lead to an early death there, most definitely. And if you are in a relationship, this is number 3, invest in your relationship. Okay, it is so common nowadays that once the kids do leave the house, once the children are out on their own and the husband retires, that they both come back to each other, and they find that they really don't even know each other, and sometimes not even like one another. And that's really sad there. We've, you know, mom's have been busy being mom, dad's been busy being dad, leading kind of separate lives, you know, climbing up the corporate ladder. I mean, whatever it might be. And I was just reading something the other day where the Japanese have actually named a syndrome called retired husband syndrome, where a lot of the women were coming and broken out in hives and nerves going crazy and just not knowing what to do themselves because their husband retired and they didn't know what to do with themselves. And they're constantly asking questions, you know, what you're doing, where you're going, why are you spending this money, you know, and it just drives them crazy. And like I said, that's an actual syndrome over in Japan right now for people who retire early, and those husbands who don't know what to do themselves. It's not that uncommon. It's not uncommon. You might laugh about that, but I guess what I'm trying to say is try to really communicate and work deep with your partner. Communicate, you know, love, share, do things with. Make sure you're still on the same page as much as you can, because otherwise it can be a real challenge later on. Number 4, stay curious. Get creative and get into continuous education for yourself. You know, stay curious. What is it? I mean, think back when you were a child here. All those things you were curious about, you know, insects, frogs, the sky, the clouds, the dew and the dragonflies, just everything and anything there. We've kind of lost that. Get curious again in your natural surroundings, or in something that intrigues you or fascinates you. You know, follow that. Get creative. You know, draw pictures again. Pull out the crayons. Pull out the paintbrushes. Write, journal. Go be a photographer, get out and just do things and try to enjoy the beauty of this world here. As a photographer myself, that's what I do, is I capture beauty wherever I go. And there is so much of it out there. There's been more than one time where I've been out photographing where I've been actually brought to tears with the scene in front of me. Just, we live in such a beautiful world there. So get creative, get out there. And then again, the third part of that, the continuous education. And I spoke that a little bit earlier there, continually challenge your mind, your body, all aspects of yourself, because that's going to keep you young. Again, if you've got a bigger purpose that you're working towards, that will help. Okay, you've got something you're working toward. What do you need to learn? What do you need to become an expert at? What do you got to get better at to become that person that you want to be? So that continuous education. And the last one is just live with purpose. Feeling like you have something to live for improves your health and makes you live longer. That's a fact. Something that you're reaching for, okay, as opposed to parking yourself on the sofa in front of the TV, or getting into the internet world of Facebook and social media or what have you. Have something that is meaningful for you, that really, comes from your soul, that pulls you toward that. Okay, so what do we need to have to begin down this road? Well, I think probably the most important thing I think we need is the belief that it's possible for ourselves, the belief in ourselves here. And, that again goes back to, where a lot of us are raised being told what was wrong with us as opposed to what was right with us. And this is part of that process of finding your purpose and growing into it. But I will assure you, at least that's been my experience, that once you go down this road and you really apply yourself, the universe will work with you, okay? The universe will work with you. There'll be instances that'll happen in your life that will just seem almost miraculous to you at times, where you've got this problem you're working on and suddenly you have a dream or something that the answer kind of comes to you, or this book comes across to you, or this thing on TV, or a person that you meet or something like that. It's mind-boggling how the universe will work with you, but you've got to start down that path there, and that's, I think, what is the most important thing that you need is the belief that you can do this and start down the road. We're not alone. We're all interconnected. This whole earth here, and I think of what a thriving earth might have looked like, or could look like. We are not making that happen with the earth that we're living on, unfortunately, right now. But it needs to begin with us, okay? It needs to begin with us, for us to embrace thriving, in order that we can start sharing that, or teaching others, our young people, our children, our grandchildren, what thriving is about, what it can be, how it can look. And because, man, I'll tell you, we got to change the course of things. And I'll probably do another talk on that down the road here. But just, sometimes I just imagine what things could look like if we had to start all over. What would be possible? What are we capable of as a human species? And a lot of that is working with each other and bringing us all up. So anyway. Well, a couple things I just want you to remember. The key to a deeper, healthier life isn't knowing the meaning of life. It's building meaning into your life. Okay? And that takes work. It takes us, as I've talked about tonight, starting down that avenue there and building meaning into our life. Okay? Number two, we are here to self-improve and grow to become the best versions of ourselves. Let's become more. Let's not settle. Let's not settle for who we have been or what we have been. Let's imagine what we can be, and how we can give back and help others along the way here. By focusing our own internal evolution, we essentially make this world a better place for everyone else. You know, like I said, our children, our grandchildren. And ultimately, our only purpose is to self-evolve, to continue to reflect and improve upon who we are, you know, to become better people, become more of who we're meant to be. So, and again, that's what our purpose is. So I invite all of you to challenge yourself, to risk living your life as fully as you can, to get out there and to thrive, okay? Well, I always leave you with a quote at the end here. This one is from Pablo Picasso. It said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." And I'll read that one more time. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I appreciate if you would share with others this video here if you think it might be a benefit to them. Again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to be here tonight, and I wish you all the best, and I wish you nothing but thriving in life and purpose. Glenn, Thrive After 50, signing out.